Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are once more celebrating along with Crafty Meraki as they turned 2 this month. As you know, there already was a release previously where there were tons of new dies out there. This release really focuses on stamps and stencils, and I know that you will adore all of them. For today's card, I am featuring the wonderful Work of Heart stamp set, and each stamp actually has the back side of this stamp as well, so you can have all of the images facing towards you, well, the people, or the backs. And for example, if you love making spinner cards, this stamp set is your thing because everything matches, everything goes well together, and you can really have fun to let them turn around. I think that's a really cute idea as well. Now, you know me, I love clean and simple cards, so today I am trying to recreate some sort of a chalkboard, and I will put one of the teachers in front of this chalkboard. Now I have my A2 size panel here. I just masked off an area to just have some fun with my dark distress ink here, black soot, and I'm just going to create a splotchy kind of background. Now originally my intentions were to have it really splotchy, like almost kind of stop right here, but then I removed the purple tape and I just saw that, well, proportion wise it wasn't right. So I'm going to remove it, and you will see as well it would have been better if it was just a bit bigger in my opinion, also with the image that will be featured in front. So I decided to just make it a bit larger, that black chalkboard kind of background that we have here, really simple. But as I did that, I also needed to make sure to get rid of that harsh line that I got on the bottom of my ink blended piece already. So therefore it took me a while and a lot of ink, and my ink pad was a bit dry. In the meantime, I already bought some refills for my black suit here. But as you can see, as it was really dry, I also used just the pad to help me get that ink on there. Call me lazy or impatient, but it really worked. So I did that. I used my heat gun in between to see whether the line was sort of fading, and it did eventually, but it wasn't as splotchy as I wanted it to. So I took my Hero Hues white pigment ink here, and I just added a bit with a blender just to keep it a bit splotchy. As you know, when the chalk is removed from the blackboard, very often there is still some residue on there, except when it's done with water. So therefore I wanted to add a bit of that white. Also, if your white ink pad is like mine, a bit splotched, you can always dab it with a paper towel until that's completely removed, as you saw me doing. So here I have my blackboard, really happy with how it turned out, and then I decided to stamp this teacher out. Now I don't have the matching dies, there are matching dies, but since I didn't got them, I started fussy cutting first. I'm not a really good fussy cutter, so I would definitely recommend the matching dies, especially when you want to make a spinner card, because this way it's perfectly aligned. But since I didn't have them and had to fussy cut, I decided to do that ahead of time before coloring, because I'm just not as good in fussy cutting as some of you. So making sure here that I wasn't going to ruin it afterwards by fussy cutting, so therefore I did it ahead of time. And then I took my Copic markers to color this image in. So the paper is Translutype Perfect coloring paper that I used here. And the Copic markers, well, there are a few of them. I have them all listed on my blog post, so if you want to revisit them, definitely check out the blog post that is accompanying this video. So I wanted to have some sort of a purpley kind of colored dress here for her. If I would redo this card, I would do red, because you will see later on with the embellishments, I would have loved to have a pop of red on my blackboard, but that just didn't go well with that dress, so purple dress. So here I'm just adding a second layer. It's the way I color with Copics. I color from darkest to lightest, and I noticed for myself that having 2 layers really helped me with getting that blend and transition that I like. Of course, there are many ways to color with alcohol markers or Copic markers. You do you, of course. It's all about having fun, loving the end result, the process towards the end result. So you color the way you like it. This is just the way I tend to do that. So something that goes really well with purple, if you ask me, is yellow. Also really bright combination here, just to have it really fun and cheerful. Next, for the skin tone, I just have this specific combo that I use all the time. It's E13, E11, E01 and E00. Definitely play around with skin tones if you like to. This is just like one of those standard kind of combinations that work for me, and also working my way from darkest to lightest. Now, when I was deciding which image I was going to feature on this card, well, actually it is always the glosses that convince me, because I just love critters or people with glosses, especially when they're rounded. It's really cute and fun. You can add glossy accents in the end on top of it. It gives something extra. So whenever I have an image with or without glosses, I always go for the with glosses. I love that. Now onto the hair, I'm just doing some flicking here. Also a tip that I can give you if you want to have these hair strokes kind of end results. The more vertical you hold your Copic marker, the thinner your lines will be. So for hair, that's really handy if you want to have these strings of hair showing up in your blending or in your coloring. Also doing 2 layers just to help me a bit. Also, the second layer helps me a lot when I want to define some elements or add a bit more shadows. It really helps me. And that is my image. Really fun, only one image. And then with the idea of the blackboard, I decided I really wanted to use the amazing sentiment that you make the world a better place, because what would we do without teachers? But then you have this globe in the stem set as well, and I thought, how can I incorporate it in a fun way? And so I decided to add it like drawings onto the chalkboard by using some white embossing powder. So I refilled my Versamark ink here, and it was really moist. So well, my images were quite thickly stamped out because of all of the moisture on my pad. It can be a bit finer if you don't have an oversaturated kind of ink pad, but it worked out fine. I just white heat embossed the sentiment and the images, and then I also decided to add another greeting, being just I think best teacher, right underneath the blackboard. That I'm doing, of course, in black because it's on the wide area of my card, but I thought it was a really fun element as well, since my teacher is going to be partially on the white area and then also a bit overlapping with the blackboard. So I'm adding some thin foam squares, and then I'm going to place her right there. And then we can add this panel on top of a card base and add all of the final details on top of this card. As I said in the beginning, I'm going to add some glossy accents to those glosses. And then I also wanted to add some embellishments, and I decided to go for some heart sprinkles, as they are my favorite, and I would have loved to add that red heart right underneath the sentiment to just have a pop of red. But with that purple dress, I just decided to go for the more neutral way and use some white hearts a bit everywhere on this blackboard. And once I was happy with placing just a few, I added it using some liquid glue. So before I forget, as I said, since Crafty Meraki is turning 2, this is a YouTube hub, and there is an amazing giveaway, a gift card of $100 So there will be some lucky winners here, so definitely don't forget to check out down below in the description box the what to do to enter this giveaway, because you never know, and $100 is a lot. Also, this is a YouTube hub, so there is tons of inspiration going around. So definitely hop along on YouTube. There are some guest designers joining us, some incredibly talented people. And then of course don't forget to check out Instagram, because there we also have some incredible hops going on with tons of giveaways. So I hope that you got inspired by this video. I hope that you are going to hop along as I will, also on Instagram, and that you have fun, get inspired, and of course that you will have fun with all of these new products released by Crafty Meraki. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you next time again. I wish you all an incredible day, and I'll be back soon. Bye!